images.
Spiraling.
No, I don't think
Spiraling.
this is a fantasy drawing that someone's doing.
Spiraling.
Drawn from real data.
Time to time up them.
Broomy, talking over people doesn't mean that they are spiraling.
He's turned me down. He's turned me down. He's turned me down.
Yeah, I don't think photographs are strong evidence, in my opinion. You could show anything in a photograph.
Photographs do constitute evidence. Yes, they do.
I didn't say that they don't constitute evidence. I just said that they're not strong evidence.
Weak evidence.
No, they're just evidence.
Why aren't they strong?
They can be
because photographs can be doctored. I could show anything in a photograph.
Right. And do you think that stands up to scrutiny if people look at the photo and can tell if it's been altered and tampered?
Well, not really, because I'm not a photo manipulation expert, and that's what the next line of questioning is going to be. You're going to ask, how do I know that they've been doctored? How can I prove that? And I can't.
So how can you make that claim then?
Because I can make any claim I want to. I have the right to believe and say whatever.
What a ridiculous argument, though, that just because evidence can be faked, then we have to throw it away. Well, you could say that about any evidence.
Yeah, that's.
When did anyone say? When did anyone say? Hold on. When did anyone say you have to throw it away, or it's not considered evidence, or it's not?
Oh, just shut up. You don't have anything.
You guys don't
to
listen. You guys don't listen at all. You just think what you hear what you want.
So wait, hold on.
I know that, Brony. What? It's
not empirical evidence.
So
what pictures or pictures from space are evidence to you, Brahmi, or are they all?
How do you even know they're from space? You don't even know if they're from space.
Exactly. You automatically discard it because you don't believe it.
You don't even know if they are from space. Not that they aren't. I never made a claim. I'm saying to you, you do not know if they are from space.
You can verify the source of who took the photograph. You most certainly can.
All right.
Would you guys?
I can verify.
Rumi, would you toss out all photos in a court case?
I wouldn't toss them out. No. If I had a picture of somebody, listen. If I had a picture of somebody hitting somebody else, something like that, I would believe that would be it. But we're talking about pictures of the Earth inside of a violation.
I gotta side with you, Brummy.
So photographs are admissible.
Well, God forbid they ever leave the camera on the whole time, the video camera. God forbid.
Photographs, we have that. So photographs are admissible in court under silent witness.
That it got there, man. Why they don't never show the thing getting there, Brenda?
Oh, for God's
sake! Because you just mentioned it's CGI.
And the
care.
People like you.
People like me.
Yeah.
They're not out there.
Oh my God. If I was the original project lead, I would make sure that I knew we were getting where we were getting. End of story. Never happened. I'd make sure with video camera, I'd make sure for all the investors, I'd have video. Thank you.
All right. Yeah, Brenda, if I said to you, I've got a picture of a car. Hold on. Tell him to turn me up. Tell him to turn me up because he's just been a knob. Listen, Brenda, if I had a picture of a car, can I have a mod tell him to turn his thing up? Look, Brenda, if I had a picture of a car, right, yeah, that you'd be like, okay, that's fine. If I said to you, I've got a picture of an alien, it's going to be a bit more difficult for you to believe, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, come on.
By the way, whoever made that sentence,
I don't. That's a good point, Brummy. Investor, now we have to look at the body of evidence.
These guys believe in aliens.
He's conflating that pictures of an alien are equivalent to pictures of the Earth. Something that many countries around the world have taken for 60 years. There's tens of thousands of pictures and videos and tens of thousands of people involved in those projects. Hey, I was talking. Hey, Don, I was talking. Hey, Don, bro, you know what? I was talking, bro. I was talking. Why you gotta yell at me?
Already believe in aliens, Jake? Aren't aliens prerequisite to the globe Earth model?
No.
Why would they be?
It's likely, considering the number of other planets that are out there, that are postulated to be out there, and plus the ones we've actually found, that it is likely that life exists on other planets.
Isn't that why you guys are...
It's considered highly unlikely that intelligent life exists on other planets. That could be something unique to a very few planets in the universe.
Right, and that's part and parcel of why you're so enthusiastic about that model, because it has so many promising attributes, like space travel and like life on other planets.
Actually, it doesn't. It doesn't. Don't get me wrong on that. The nearest star is so far away, it's almost inconceivable that we'll ever be able to send humans there.
Yeah, but aliens can like zip on by from Zeta Reticuli, right?
Well, that's why we think it's highly unlikely that they're here. Unless they made some quantum leap in their technology to be able to cover those distances. I mean, if we were all about, hey, let's jerk each other off by creating a model where there's other worlds that we that we can make Star Trek a reality, we sure as hell wouldn't have put them so fucking far away.
The truth of whether or not the Earth is flat has nothing to do, flat or a globe, has nothing to do with whether or not aliens exist.
It's a bit
but
like
just to point it out, Babs thinks that it does.
It does.
Babs,
aren't you guys like all Trekkie Star Trek nerds?
No. Babs only believes in a flat Earth because he's actually an evangelical fundamentalist in his religion, and his religion is dictating his view of the shape of the Earth, because that's what all flat Earthers are like.
Oh, I see what you're doing here. You're just strawmanning me back. Okay.
No. What I'm doing is I'm creating an analogy to show the ridiculousness of your argument.
You're right. I was wrong. I shouldn't have said that about.
I guess a picture of a car is so much. It's just the same as a picture of the Earth, isn't it?
No, they're different pictures.
Did you fall down the stairs and hit your head again?
I did.
They are both evidence. They are both evidence. Both
so
picture
of a car is the same as a picture of an alien.
It's evidence.
Let me put this in a context. Let me put this in a context for Brahmin that can understand, mate. You know when you're in that like escort of yours and you're fucking caught speeding, that speeding camera captured you, and there you are grinning like a madman behind the steering wheel. Yeah. Pictures do count as evidence. Let's move on.
That's an alien, mate. It's an alien.
If you're an alien, fine, claim to be so.
No, it's an alien. How do you know it's not an alien? Where's your evidence to support that?
You're making the claim. You have to back up the claim.
My claim is that a picture of the Earth is not the same as a picture like that you'd use in the courtroom for evidence towards, I don't know, a civil court case or something.
A picture of the Earth would be admissible in a court.
Let's be honest. It's an indirect observation is not an empirical observation.
Yes, it is. And it's admissible in court. Yes, it is, and it would be admissible in court.
No, it's not.
You can just deny that, but I've posted a link.
A picture of the Earth is equivalent to get a picture of an alien. No, people don't think that you can go out. You're going out into this space and then turning around and taking a picture of the Earth and going, "Yeah, look, it's round."
Yeah, that's evidence.
Evidence. Nobody can confirm the evidence.
Yeah, people have confirmed. Yeah, people have confirmed the evidence.
Yeah, 500 people have confirmed.
Yes. Well, that's your opinion. Nobody cares about your opinion.
No. How many people have gone to space? How many people have gone to space?
See, your issue, Brahmi, is that you're tying validation to direct people going into space to validate it. And we don't need to do that to validate something.
Well, we do. Well, we do because if let me finish my sentence. Don't talk over me. I'll explain to you what you do. That evidence is not sufficient. Taking pictures of China, millions of people. Millions of people have gone to China.
On the planet, it is
look, Glovers.
Millions of people.
You don't need to do it for your little justified belief, but you need to do it if you're trying to win a evidence contest here. Okay, you can have your justified belief, but you don't get to say you have empirical. You don't have empirical. You should admit that the individual does not have empirical. It's based on trust. Thank you. And we all know through ignorance and misplaced trust, your world's crushed. Thank you.
There's no difference. Thank you, Don.
You do this shit.
We'll leave the floor to these Globers now. Let's listen to these Globers have a fit.
Well, if you don't do it yourself, all you're going to have is tertiary evidence. All you're going to have is photographs unless you actually do it on your own.
I'd like to address Don if I could for a sec here, please. Don, I've posted the videos that I've just posted you. The SpaceX launch, the Endeavour Rocket 1, and the rocket launching from the ground up to space at least 3 times. So don't fucking say that no one's provided you this evidence ever again. Got it?
Keep saying up to space, Cypher. Why are you going to do this? How many years? Are we going to do this for over a year now? Your little orbital distance doesn't qualify what we're talking about as space. You've posted a picture that shows 15%. Hold on, sir. Hold on. You showed a picture, I'm assuming, I'll go look at it in a second, that goes high enough to show 15% of the ball.
You've
15% of the ball.
This evidence doesn't exist. The point is, you keep claiming that this shit doesn't exist.
You're
and yet here
not
it is.
listening to what we're saying. You're not listening. You're moving the goalposts.
No, actually, you're moving the goalposts. Your original requirement
bullshit.
I provided it. You claimed it didn't exist, and there it is.
Well, then allow me to, for the 100th time, clarify my communication. You show some shit that shows 15% of a ball. I want uncut footage from the ground to the full ball to prove that you can go there.
We can show you the entire ball.
Go up there, dipshit.
See what I'm saying? Now it's go up there. First it's we have it, but now it's go up there. You don't have it. Thank you.
Fucking astronaut, Don. Go and do it.
Jesus.
It's not that fucking hard if you get off your ass and learn how.
Take a chill pill, dude. Jesus Christ.
Why does it matter to you so much?
Triggered.
It doesn't matter. It really doesn't.
I'm tired of Don fucking bitching like this.
Right? No, it gets annoying.
It gets frustrating when you provide people with evidence.
Yep.
Don's
over and
request
over again.
was, I want footage from Earth into space. And then he said that Cypher was moving the goalpost. Well, he never said, I want to see a picture of a rocket launch where it goes from Earth to space until I can see the full ball. That's the first time I've ever heard you say that, Don.
Yeah. So we all understand that.
So you moved the goalpost, mate.
The question is, Don, why do you want to move the goalpost?
And let's be honest with ourselves, Don. That's not going to really convince you. You're going to claim it's CGI.
I'm pretty sure Don's already convinced he's just being...
This is why I'm so fucking sick of Don and just blew up at him. I'm fucking over this shit from him.
Cypher, I think you and I have had a very similar day, mate.
We could strap a flat earther into the next SpaceX launch to the ISS, and they will deny, even once they get to the ISS, they're going to be looking for the black screen and the secret building that they just got transported to, and looking to see if they're still on Earth. They will deny till the day they die.
I know.
I think you're right. I really do.
I think it depends on the flat earther. I think a flat earther will come back and say, "Oh my God, it's all true. It is a globe," and then the rest of the flat earth community will tell him he's now a shell.
Well, yesterday,
you
Don
guys
was
are
upset that I called him a flat earther again. I don't know what to call Don, because he's one day a flat earther and then the other day he's on our side.
You're fucking dishonest. I'm not a flat earther. You keep saying, hold on. Listen, man. Listen, man. You keep saying that they would deny the pictures from space. That's dishonest. Hold the fuck on. Just because I say, maybe I don't believe it or maybe I want more, that doesn't mean I'm denying it. You guys are dishonest with that shit.
That's exactly what it sounds
it's
like,
what it sounds like, but it's not reality.
Don, if you don't believe something, you're denying it.
Yeah,
that's the thing. You keep saying we don't believe. There's a difference between being suspect at all and saying you don't believe. You guys keep lumping it together. If you have any suspicion, you don't believe. That's some bullshit, man. Grow up.
I'm done with you.
Grow up,
Don. I'm turning you down.
I don't believe you. Oh, yeah, that's denial. That's what denial is.
Wow. But nobody's saying they don't believe you. They're saying, maybe I don't believe you. Maybe.
All he's sat here and done is say, I don't believe this, I don't believe that. That's all he's done.
No, you are fake as fuck, dude.
Don,
That's
are you the guy that just kept claiming that you're skeptical of everything? I mean, that's literally the same thing.
No, it's not literally the same thing. You are dishonest. That is dishonest. You are a poor communicator. You are a poor listener if you keep believing this.
Don, out of your own mouth, you said you're an 80% glober.
I don't care. I'm 99% glober, motherfucker. I don't care.
Not today. It doesn't sound like that.
99% glober today. They still don't have uncut footage up into that area. Still could be a globe. Suck it.
Uncut footage to where,
Learn
Don?
how to listen. Stop hating on
I have been
Oliver.
listening.
I just want a little more gruel. Thank you.
For. Uncut footage to an Uncut footage to an altitude where you can see the entire Earth?
Well, let's think here. They had uncut footage of SpaceX rocket booster. Then they passed the baton onto the Roadster. So they had the capability of having footage the whole way, but for some reason it's cut. So we know they have the capability.
From the
so how about next time, let's just not cut it. How about that? But no, oppress my scientific desire because you want to call me a flat earther. Suck it.
Well, so one thing you're not is a skeptic.
It is scientific
That
desire.
is one thing that no flat earther is a skeptic. You're simply
stop calling me a flat earther then.
Well, I don't understand.
You guys are contradictory as fuck.
What is them
I
cutting
want more science. You're a flat earther.
Why does that matter though? Why is that the linchpin between?
I don't know, because I'm an adult.
If he wants to talk about cut footage, ask him to ask Spurs about the missing 13 frames from Red's video.
Fuck his dishonest ass. We're not talking about him. Don't try to change the subject.
You're right. We're talking about Don's dishonest ass. Let's stay on.
Yeah, I'm dishonest now. This is hilarious. Hilarious, man.
I just want to understand.
I'll put my contradictions on display constantly. I'm the dishonest one.
Don,
I admit all my biases. I filter out all. I try to look at all the perspectives. I'm the dishonest one. Everybody hears you. Everybody hears you guys. It's okay. 10 on 1 doesn't matter. Your ignorance will show.
Can you answer the simple question?
What do you want?
What do you want?
I want everybody to get along, and it's not going to happen.
Fuck's sake. You want to get in the realm of I said, what is it that you want? Stop being stupid about it. Answer the question.
You're not going to be able to get along with people when you're misjudging their communications. Okay? You're not going to get along when they're saying, hey, I'm curious, and you go, nope, you're a denier. Don? You're not going to get along with people that way.
Don, can I have
Hold on for a second, Brenda. Don, do you not see that's exactly what you're doing right now? You're misjudging other people, and you're misrepresenting what they're saying?
You're right. Scott, partially, yes. And I believe that there's a stronger message that's being missed that I am fighting for. You're right. I'm doing that partially. Yeah. But I have a bigger mission.
Which is what?
Everything's not always black and white, guys. It doesn't work like that.
Actually,
understand that we want logic to be that way, but listen, for logic to be that way, you have to be crispy honest. Okay?
Don, what's your mission statement?
Give Brenda. I think Brenda wanted to ask Don something.
Well, I wanted to make it clear that Don is not a skeptic. He is a disbeliever.
What do I disbelieve? Hold on. Name one thing I disbelieve, Brenda.
You disbelieve the globe.
No, I don't. It's incorrect. Strike one.
Oh, so what is it that you believe about the globe?
Well, I'd like to go back to you saying I'm dishonest. Can you take another attempt, please? Or just take it back?
Disbelief is an unwillingness or an inability to believe that something is true.
I don't have any disbelief.
Skepticism is a methodology that starts from a neutral standpoint and aims to acquire certainty through evidence or scientific or logical observation. I got that from Wiki.
Absolutely, I agree with that.
Yeah, that's not what you do.
Well, I'd like to hear why you're saying that, because I believe I do. You're disagreeing, and I'd like you to prove your case or take it back.
Sure. You simply reject things out of hand without any reason.
Could you name one thing I've rejected, please?
You reject evidence for the globe out of hand.
Could you name one piece of globe evidence I've rejected, please?
We've been talking about photographs.
Could you name one thing? I've not rejected any of them. I'll just state it that way. Would you like to prove your case? I've not rejected any of it.
Yes, you rejected out of hand the footage of SpaceX putting the automobile into orbit.
Okay.
Yes.
We're having a miscommunication here, Brenda. I know it implies that maybe I want more. That doesn't mean I reject that what we have. I'm making the funny statement as trying to show, hey guys, we can believe all this. But if there was some foul play afoot, this is where the threshold would be. Okay, and this is what we would need to do extra empirical validation on. Just because I'm saying I want more, that does not mean that I disbelieve what we have. Okay, and you need to stop misconstruing those two things.
So, Don, the fact that they told you they did this, that's not sufficient for you?
Yeah, dude, I'm cool with the trust. I'm cool with all that. Scott, we've talked about this.
But it sounds like you're not, right? Because the SpaceX people said they did this.
Okay, everybody, I'm so sorry that it sounds like that. I still will stand on the fact that if the funny business was happening, that could be we have plenty of reason to believe it, everybody. There's plenty of reason to believe it. It would still be great if we had more. That way we didn't have to, quote unquote, believe it on that level. We could believe it on an easier level.
What is your evidence? What is your evidence that funny business took place?
No, well, there's a pattern, okay, in all of the existence of space documentation, there's a pattern where the video cuts off at a certain place. There's no video past a certain zone, and that's it. I'm just going to point out that's a consistency of data. That's a consistency of data, and I'm going to stand by it.
That's not true, though.
But okay, prove me wrong, sir. Yeah. Ma'am, sorry.
There is, yeah, that's fine. So there's it's not the SpaceX video, but I've seen other videos, and I don't have it saved to my computer. Maybe somebody else has it, of an unbroken footage from launch into low Earth orbit.
Into low Earth orbit. I agree, and that's the zone, Brenda, that I'm saying. That's where that zone constantly cuts off, guys. Everybody who's listening. And I'm sorry, I mean this from my heart. I'm not saying that we shouldn't believe you have no reason to doubt it. You shouldn't doubt it. But we're still going to point out anomalies, right? That's why why would we look for, we go, give me evidence of it's fake. Okay, well, there's this one anomalous thing that I want a little bit more on. And I'm going to stand by it until it happens.
I just posted a video from the Tesla Starman footage. How much more of the fucking Earth do you want?
I think that's
all right. Look, regardless, look, we don't have to get conclusive or one way or another, Brenda. I just hope, Brenda, to you, I communicated that I'm trying to show you honesty, Brenda. I'm not trying to do this dishonest thing. You don't have to say one or the other. Hopefully you've heard a little bit different than what you heard before. Maybe we could clear it up, okay? Honesty is key, guys, period.
What more do you want to see?
Honesty is key. Don, you've been presented this video evidence before, and you keep denying it. So who's the dishonest individual in this conversation?
Rocket, you're fake. I'm not denied this evidence. I've said this evidence shows you low Earth orbit. That's what it shows you. 15 degrees of the ball, not 360.
No. I've got
40 degrees.
You think you can get a view of the Earth from one launch?
You're a goofball.
The whole Earth.
You're a goofball. Oh, Foolish got the rocket car up there. Right. Right. Yeah. It looks crispy. We should think it's real because it looks. You know that high definition.
Don,
I believe it. Fine. I believe it. Fine.
How do you calculate what percent of the Earth is visible from a certain altitude and orbit?
You're just missing the point, Rocket.
No.
Sorry.
You're saying you can't see the whole Earth. I want to know if you understand how to calculate this.
No, I don't know, Rocket. I just see the footage, buddy. I don't even know what you're on about. Because the funny thing is when you can't get my point and then you try to make points, it's like I'm stuck in the past, sir. I don't know how to show you the respect to entertain your point when you just are ignoring mine. I don't know where we're at in the conversation. I mean, seriously.
How can you have a sensible conversation with you, Don, when you keep bouncing around all over the place?
You're right. I can't. You're right. You can't. You can't have one with me, so stop talking to me. I'll yield.
You're out of your fucking mind, Don. Seriously, like I don't know how else to say it.
It's fine,
really
but I hope I shared enough so that Brenda could one-on-one understand that. You know what I'm saying? I want her to see that I'm striving for only honesty. Well, she called me a liar. She wanted to be the last one to call me dishonest. I need to stand up for it.
I said that you're not a skeptic. You're a disbeliever. That I don't.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry it comes off that way. Please.
I don't recall saying you were dishonest, but I do think you probably are based on past experience and everybody's frustrations with you. Everybody's very frustrated with you, and I think that's because you say really bizarre things in order to defend your belief. I think that happens a lot with people on the flat Earth side. They say really, really crazy things in order to maintain their belief.
But here's what happened. You just put me on the flat Earth side. If any skeptics, you're like, okay, I could believe 99.999 it's a ball. Oh, look, there's some stuff on YouTube. There's this little tiny movement of flat Earth. Let me look at it for 0.5%. You're on the flat Earth side. You're on the flat Earth. Oh my God, you're dishonest. I mean, do you guys not realize your inconsistencies?
I don't think that it's.
That's exactly what you're doing every time.
No, I don't think so. I think that the certain people are very, very consistent in advocating for the Earth being generally more or less flat. I think that's what people do.
Wow.
Yeah,
let me ask you, do we got one person? Do we have one person in the room that's going to advocate for that? One person that's going to say the Earth is not observably indicative flat, that they think the Earth is flat. Beyond, come on, and any one person in here going to say it?
Well, there are no flat earthers in here?
Brent, that's what I'm saying, is like, you guys don't read your environment very well. You guys are, and that's what's worrisome, is these miscommunications on what seem obvious logics to me are over some very intelligent Globers' heads. Constantly, like, the logic goes over their head, and that's when I get worried. That's when I'm like, wait a minute.
What logic?
Maybe they are getting fucking tricked. They're fucking dumber than I thought they were.
Don, worry about yourself right now.
Specific and actually say what sort of logic people are missing.
Well, for example, this one right here, this point of, if you look into flat Earth at all, you are on the flat Earth side. You are a flat earther. Yeah. You are not a skeptic. You are not a skeptic. You are denying the evidence. I mean, come on.
Well, I think that there is what's called reasonable evidence, and there's what's called unreasonable demands, and I think a lot of your requirements fall in the area of unreasonable demands.
No, that's not what he's asking. Hold on.
This point very quickly, Space Pope. Very quickly.
Nothing I'm asking for is unreasonable. Nothing.
So I've just posted another picture from the Tesla spaceman car thing, and that's the another face of the Earth.
Mm-hmm.
Don, because what I'm trying to do going through this video is trying to get you your 360 degrees of view.
Okay, so you think if they didn't have a Himawari, if they have a Himawari up there doing it, this thing could be taken from that data though, right? Look at these guys. Fuck off, Don. Right, you guys, it's so funny, guys. You guys are stupid. You guys really must be. Listen,
chill, man.
Chill. I got people calling me liar in the text. It's ridiculous.
I know.
Nobody's lying.
Don't worry about it. But you should see some of the shit.
Man, that's where the argument is. That's why I jumped into this arena. The miscommunication, dude.
No, Don, you're all over the place, man.
You Globers are not that stupid. It's worrying me.
Don, you're all over the place.
Maybe the Globers are that dumb. Maybe they are.
We're worried about you, Don, because you're not being rational right now.
You know, Don, I don't think that you're a liar. I think you're severely delusional.
That's fine. That's better. That's way more consistent, Rocket. Call me wrong or inconsistent, but lying is definitely not.
But Don,
happening.
Just to be clear,
and let's argue over the consistency of logic.
I think there's some mental issues that you're having.
Oh my God.
It's evident in the way you speak and the way you present yourself, and the way you lose your shit on a periodic basis.
You're right.
Over the most minute points.
These aren't minute points. This is the biggest issue in the arena, is the dishonest communication, the refusal to hear the oppressed side view. You guys pile on, you guys fucking pigeonhole them, you fucking straw men, you fucking label them.
Shut it.
Oh, that was pretty
I got a problem with that too. Right to Hand did the same thing to Jeremy not too long ago when he started questioning things about flat Earth. When you start calling someone a Glober or flat Earther because they're questioning stuff, that's cult mentality. And that's what Don was trying to point out.
He's just a fucking reality denier. That guy's got issues, but...
Yeah, but hang on, Don. Oppressed side? Is that the choice word that you're going to go with for flat Earth versus
Play semantics, man. Play semantics.
How many times do you let them...
The severely outnumbered side, whatever. All right, I'll take the word back. Fine. You win. Insert a better word. You win. You win. You win. It was a bad word. I made a mistake. You win.
What did you say? What did you say? Replace it with then?
With the minority side, with the heavily with the radical side, with the new side. I mean, the alt science side, whatever. You could replace it with multiple different things.
That's what you used.
Fine, you know what I mean.
I mean, let's not get hung up on silly words and stuff like that.
Yeah, seriously.
This is all getting into sort of much more meta, and that just pisses me off.
You guys realize, you guys pretend like you care about people. Y'all don't realize, man. You flip the switch on and off for your ego and for your own personal satisfaction. My irritation comes at my own failure to communicate. I'm frustrated with myself that I'm failing to communicate because the motivation is I care about us all. I know as a species we are stronger together than individual. I know it's not selfless, okay, but I know that I do care about you guys, extension of myself in the same way. And I don't hear the same coming back from everybody. Some of you I do, thank you, but not everybody, and it's worrisome.
So Don, can I get a point here? Foolish brought up a very interesting distinction between reasonable evidence and unreasonable demands. What'd you say, Foolish? I thought it was a really good
reasonable evidence and unreasonable demands.
Do you think that distinction is there? Do you make that distinction?
I agree. I definitely agree with the logic he's presenting. But then some of the specifics.
So where do you draw
points
the line?
We're making? So specific evidence is right. It feels like it's like an arbitrary line. And I feel like sometimes the quote unquote flat Earth side says some pretty reasonable things that are immediately deemed unreasonable from the global side.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, but I think that's where we disagree.
That's fine. It's fine, but I'd like to talk about that like gentlemen, not little kids.
Don, can you give me an example of this?
Well, here's an example right now. The fact that you're just like, oh, there's no time that they ever said anything reasonable. That's unreasonable in itself. To think that there's never one thing that a flat earther says that can be considered, a logical argument or understandable or digestible. To say that they never say anything that makes sense is basically you being an absolute douchebag.
No, it's true.
So like you guys are either douches or hiding science. I mean, it's worrisome either way.
No, we're not.
Okay, so when a flat earther says that we have to follow the scientific method, right? That's one thing? You asked me to name one thing. There's one. You are going to argue now against the scientific method? Go on, enlighten me.
And not only that, Brummy, then they're going to tell us we're stupid for parroting it. They're going to tell us we're dumb for wanting it.
You know what? No.
Name one thing then.
Flat Earthers
name one thing.
More. We've been nice to flat Earthers lately.
Don't whistle past what I just said, right? Address it, bitch.
Lately, flat Earthers been coming in here and calling us shit when we've been nice to them.
Bitch, you just said name one thing. Name one thing. Now take back what you said.
Brumi, look at that. That's an example right there. We've been nice to you, and you're calling us bitches.
Shut the fuck up. You're whistling past what I just said. You asked for one thing. You're asking for one thing.
Shut the fuck up.
You're asking for one thing. You got named one thing. Now say sorry. Apologize. Concede.
I think the main point when it comes to the scientific
look, it's gonna happen. Look, you can't do it.
No one here has.
They can't do it, can they? They can't do it. Little bitches.
No one here has an issue with the scientific method.
Bitch.
But when you say that it's the only way to do science, that's when people take issues.
You asked me to. No, you said name one thing. I named one thing. Now concede. Don't whistle past it. You asked for one thing that a flat earther says. I'll give you one thing that a flat earther says, and you're not addressing it. Just say sorry. Just say sorry, man. It's a lot easier.
I don't
concede.
I don't know what you're on.
Would somebody mute him? He's not actually letting conversation take place.
Yeah, why is he always looking for a concession? Why is he always looking to win?
Let Rummy have a win. He doesn't win much in life. He obviously needs it that badly, so let him have it.
Yeah, I would imagine that's
you bitches. You bitches. You little bitches.
Right, you're right,
I didn't even hear the question, Brummy. I just heard your desperation to win.
Thank you.
Give him the win.
Thank you, Foolish.
I'm going to give you a big gold W, Brummy, right?
Appreciate it, guys. Appreciate it.
Scott, I know that I pose into the character of the cynical character, right? And it's intended to look that way and everything. But I'm sorry that it gets lost that as a whole, I'm just a skeptical person, and there's probably plenty of just skeptical people in the righteous side of flat Earth investigation.
Don, what's worrying is how fast you go off, how crazy you get.
You don't know me, dude. I sit in here for hours and hours. I'm plenty chill. Okay, I'm sorry that sometimes you see me go crazy.
You randomly snap.
You don't know me.
But you randomly
snap
when
it's
I'm
random. Here. That's what it is. It's random. That's what it is.
It's not random. Actually, Happy, it's not random. It's very much related to the level of his medication.
none of you guys will say to Don, you know what, you make some good points. You do, you know.
Brummy, when he does, I'm happy to say that.
But he never does, right?
The same way as I've said similar things to you, Brummy, when you've made good arguments.
I appreciate that, Foolish.
Yeah.
Not everyone.
So what I'm doing now is I'm making you my bitch. See how this works?
Concede. All right, I concede. Not everyone's the same as you. Most of you are fucking.
I don't box as well as you, but there are some arenas I box fucking well in.
Well, it's not empirical, is it? You know, you may have seen
it's definitely empirical and very numbers based.
I assure you, when I get to the super radical, I believe that it's of a time of fighting fire with fire type of environment, and that's why I go into that range.
They just don't ever not no, some do not ever. Well, just never back down or say, oh yeah, slightly got it wrong, or
says the bitch here going conceive, bitch, conceive.
Yeah.
Fucking unbelievable. You are so hypocritical.
Look, you need to concede, bro.
Can we stop slinging stones, because it's kind of pointless. If you guys want to argue for the next hour, let me know and I'll go and do something constructive.
I do think.
If we want to actually get onto a topic and drop the all you guys are that, no, all you guys are this, or no, all you guys are that, because to be perfectly honest,
all right, you're right.
We're
all
not
you
12
girls,
years old, guys.
All you girls, all you girls. You're right. Just allow it then. All right, Larry. Let's move on to gas going down then, because I still don't understand how you guys have come to that conclusion. With no physical, practical demonstration of gas going down.
No.
Okay. That thing with the container, they can't prove that the gas. They're trying to work on an experiment, Kosho and Moyak, of proving this. Until then, they have no proof of what they're saying at all. It's a baseless assertion.
Was there a claim you were trying to say? I have no idea what you're trying to say.
I want to do a 1, 2, 3. So if I acknowledge that there's the gravity, and then if I acknowledge helium also would fall into a vacuous space, it would fall to the ground rather than just floating on top of empty space. Do I now assume, or could there be a variable that would change the fact that within the container, the helium would have a gradient, not in just the atmosphere, but even in a smaller...
What the fuck are you talking about, bro?
Well, that's where we get on, bro. I know you don't want to go past step 1. I know you don't go past step 1. A lot of times they claim, hey, this happens, that happens, and then they do this whole thing Kosho's been trying to demonstrate, which is the gradient within a container.
I've got this for you.
Just point out, Brummy is saying, what the fuck?
I get it.
I know.
I actually think I understood Don's point. Is the fact that if we accept that gravity is a thing, and we fill a vacuum chamber with helium, would we observe a gradient of pressure? Because that gradient pressure would be an indicator.
We assume there, but then we also, to extend it, even inside another container, we also would see the gradient also, right? The thing Kosho's trying.
You mean a container within a container? Why would you do that?
Well, the atmosphere is container 1, and then a helium tank is container 2.
Gravity is a container. It's not.
Any container would make it an isolated system, right? So it doesn't matter if it's in another container, like a nested container, or not. It's an isolated system. It would have no. The outside container would have no effect on the inside one.
Right, and there would be a gradient. Right. There would be a gradient.
But there would be, because the force goes through.
No.
The effect of gravity.
The pressure would not go through.
But this is not how I can't speak for all humans. That's how most of us approach the world and life and understanding. What we do is we observe things and we see if our model can explain everything that we can possibly observe.
Scott, that's what I'm saying. I'm taking observation 1 and 2 for granted. I don't want to even challenge that it's seen or not. But observation 3 is the thing that Kosho's saying he's been working on demonstrating. And I guess I'm just asking, is that even necessary, guys? Or have people seen that before? Or is there any alternate?
Well, as far as it being necessary.
Hold on. Sorry. Don, the thing you asked, because I heard your question, I listened to you. You said, could there be another variable?
Right.
And that's the question. That's the thing I'm bringing up. Nobody looks for another variable when everything is explained already.
Variable was a bad word. Variable was a bad word. I mean, could there be another hypothesis of outcome? That's the problem. Not necessarily variable.
We search for another hypothesis when the one that we have doesn't explain everything that we see already.
Scott,
it does.
Scott, so we don't. You're missing. The coach is trying to do this demo.
Wrong.
I'm just talking.
Hold on. Okay. Scott's pushed out a very good point that you need to listen to. He said no one even looks for everything because everything's already explained. That's the problem with the global mentality. They're not looking for alternate explanations. They're just looking to what fits their model.
No, we have conclusive, undeniable.
That's what Scott just said. That's what Scott just said. Don't tell me no. Tell Scott no.
But we do.
Tell Scotty. Tell Scott Mackey, not me. Tell Scott Mackey, not me. I never said that. You said that. Scott Mackey said that.
All right. Well, Scott, I agree with everything you said. I was communicating poorly, most likely. I'm kind of talking about why is Kosho trying to do this demonstration? Is there, any serious alternative hypothesis of what the outcome would be? And also, doesn't this demonstration kind of exist somewhere else already? Like, don't they have big tanks with pressure gauges on the top and the bottom of them already?
Yeah, but here's the thing, Don. I would bet the most precious things in the world to me, my children's lives, that I know the outcome of that experiment. I know it. That's how confident I am in the world, in my understanding.
I feel you. I was just trying to kick that up. That's actually the point I was trying to kick up. I think I'm in the same boat as you.
And there's people out there that are willing to blow themselves up, that they're in the promise of 70 virgins or whatever. So having all the confidence in the world and putting your life on it doesn't mean you're going to be rewarded for that. We need to think. You need to think a bit more critically. Then, you've never even improved things to yourself at a certain level. So put your own children's lives on it. I think that's even if you knew without a shadow of a doubt, it's something you shouldn't gamble.
The risk is zero. It's not a gamble when it's zero.
I don't know. It could be 0, point.
No, it's not. It's zero. You guys ever hear of the Pascal's wager?
Oh man, that's like my brother. He won't bet unless he knows.
Well, but Pascal's wager is basically what risk would you take to avoid hell? And I don't follow a God. I don't believe because I know it's zero, and I've put my life on it. Right, I put my eternal soul on the idea that there is no God because it's zero.
Wow. Well, that's a claim. How would you know? How could you know there's no God? I mean, that to me is overconfidence.
Well, I mean, I would say that, what he's saying, the truest point to what he's saying is that he actually is putting up his soul.
Exactly.
In this bet. And
I've made the bet.
But I think you're going to lose this bet.
I know. And I'm absolutely confident that I'm not. And that's why I behave like I do.
No, that's a little interesting. It's a little interesting because Scott said that, I think I remember correctly, that we have an acknowledgement of some sort of primal moral or something, and like I think I'm correct. I could say there could be a vulnerable, opportunistic. There could be vulnerable people in an opportunistic situation for you, Scott, where you could just easily put a gun in their head and have $10 million. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, we've communicated that we still wouldn't do that. We would know inside of us if we don't need it for our survival, and maybe even and so it's weird.
It's more complicated. Can we simplify it, please? Can we simplify
it? Well, Scott, you've said you had some morals, though, right? And it's a little weird.
Of course I do.
Scott is 100% sure there is no God. He's 100% sure that world's a globe. Right. He's 100% sure in everything. This is like.
I don't think it's intrinsically tied. I think he could safely say he's betting he's not going to hell because he's already falling within what the Christian good morals would be. But then at the same time, he could say there doesn't have to be a Christian God, and he still could safely bet he's not going to hell. This is a little dynamic.
He believes there is no God at all.
It's fine.
God.
It's fine, but it's irrelevant to his other religion.
How could he living a good life? That is only something you can determine on knowledge. What is his
saying
knowledge?
He's not a murderer or a stealer, so
No. Listen to what he's saying. He knows there is no God. How do you know there is no God?
How are we going to argue that,
bro? How can you know that?
How are we going to argue?
I would argue. How can you know that? How can you know there is no God?
It doesn't matter how I do it. I do.
Of course it does. How do you know?
You don't even know. First, you got to define what he means by God, and I don't even want to go down there. He means what? Somebody watching him making a moral decision, because he knows damn well there was a point in creation beyond our logic that we can understand.
I know for
right?
a fact.
So he means this moral God.
I
come on, it's not worth it to me. You can have.
Let's go. I know there is a God. So how can you know? How can you know against what I know is true?
Prove it.
Can we start with definitions? Can we start with definitions, please? Definitions.
He has to prove
definitions, Brummy.
Brummy, fine. Live your life as if there is one. I don't care.
I think this topic about God is just kind of beside the point.
It is.
Talking about
there's an example of confidence.
At the end of the day, I don't even get why there's a debate about gravity, because flat Earth does not need gravity to be false. Yet you guys argue it tooth and nail. You could still have a flat Earth with gravity operating the way that we say it does.
Yeah, you understand why they do it, right?
You can't have flat Earth and have gravity.
Sure you can.
Arguments they don't
with
like.
With an infinite plane, you technically can.
But then the space and all this and all that. Brenda's right partially, but Dan's also.
I don't. Yeah.
The goal is to call everything into question. That is the goal. Is to question.
But it doesn't serve them anything. Like to
it
make
does. It adds to the confusion.
Yeah.
Confusion is the goal.
No, it's to show you take your ball away. Without gravity, you've got no ball.
You don't. Like I said, you can have a flat Earth and still believe a gravitational force. Like even if you want to say it's a universal downward gravitational force,
you cannot.
You're misunderstanding their mindset.
You guys realize one day there was these crazy people who wanted to go around in a circle and thought that they could put enough energy in to keep falling perpetually, semi-perpetually around and call it an orbit. You know how crazy that's. They wanted that. And people are like, why? We got balloons. We got balloons. Why do we need that? Why do you want more?
It didn't sound crazy to anybody.
What you want about, Don?
Come on, man.
I'm
being facetious.
It didn't.
Don, what are you talking about? Balloons? What's that got to do with gravity?
We want a new thing, man. There's nothing wrong with wanting more, with wanting a new thing. Everybody thinks the new. Well, a lot of times the common people think the new thing is crazy.
You can't define what you want.
No, I can't. Can I?
You can't.
I can't repeat uncut video.
I asked you what you wanted. I asked you what your mission statement was. You got bubkus.
My mission statement: uncut videos on every craft in space, always, 24/7.
That's not a mission statement, Don.
Thank you.
That's not a mission.
I'm for the video movement.
There absolutely has to be. There's no way this world could be as it is without divine intervention. This actual existence of reality is in itself evidence, and the biggest thing in front of your optical is God. Anything you see in front of your optical is God. Every single thing is God. It's God's creation, and that's it.
Can we time out for this? Can we get a unmute for Moyak,
because Scott might be talking about something different.
Who's in here?
Possibly. It's just crazy to me that someone could think that all this shit just fucking happened for no fucking reason whatsoever, and it just exists for no reason. It's just here, and it is what it is. It's just an empty purpose, empty. Well, he said there is no God. That's what he insinuates. Yeah, a lovely straw man, but it's still a very similar argument to what he's saying. So I get the gist of what he's saying. It's the gist. No, I'm inferring. He said there is no God.
You're saying there is no God, so therefore there's no purpose or morality? That's what you're inferring.
He's saying there is no God. That's what he said. Word for word, there is no God.
Yeah,
so he's basically
then you
saying.
Derive from that, there's no morality, there's no purpose. That's a straw man.
Derived from that means that this entire thing in front of your optical, every is just happens to just be here, or just exploded from some infinitesimal point or whatever crap it believes, with no divine intervention. It is just that. it's just absolutely absurd to think that could be possible without divine intervention.
So, Brummy?
Sorry, I don't see any way. What?
Fine, you don't have to. Brummy, I mentioned that simply to demonstrate a confidence level that I feel I must have in order to behave the way I do. That's all I said. It was an example of confidence. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
It's pride, vain pride, and that's how the devil fell from heaven.
Cool. Me and the devil, bros.
I don't believe in the devil or not. I don't believe, all the teachings of the religious books. But I just think there is a creator. I think there's only one way for this existence. It just makes no sense of. There's no way it can make sense without divine intervention. You know what I'm saying? But as for religious teachings, no, I'm not. Sorry.
A creator is the antecedent of creation, so you have to have one. Yes, I agree with you.
It's just you know what I mean. You got. Huh? I assume creation, but without it being created, you assume absolute fucking magic. You assume more magic than a creator. It takes a lot less. What's the word? It's more logical to assume that it's been created than it would.
No, it's not.
To just think it just existed.
It's not.
Okay, explain to me how it's logically more possible for this whole thing to exist with no.
Now you're reasoning from abduction. You're saying I see this happening and I cannot fathom it being there without a divine intervention. However, that does not follow Occam's razor. Like, you cannot say it must be magic because nowhere else magic can be observed. Magic is a huge assumption on which you base your whole assumption. It's an assumption.
No, explain to me. No. I'm asking you to explain to me how it makes less sense without God.
Okay, because you assume.
No,
God
you explain
exists,
to me how how does it make less sense without a God than
because
with a God?
God is not an explanation.
God is an explanation.
No, that's saying it's magic.
Well, magic is not an explanation. Magic is just magic.
Yeah, that's what you're claiming. That's what you're claiming. You're claiming a form of magic.
Saying there's no creator without creation is magic.
Yeah, I mean, let's talk about a magnetic field. I mean, in order for there to be a magnetic field, you have to have magnetism, right? But yet you can't really. Can you define and explain what a field is?
Well, it's already been created, isn't it? You're talking about created. But for example, I build a house, right? If you build a house, it's very sophisticated. It's got stairs. It's got this, that, and the other. But where the fuck do you get the elements and the tools and the ingredients to make the house? They were made. The tree that you chop down, is a tree, right? That was made. Like, everything's made already. With no materials, there's nothing to build anything from.
Yeah, and I'm trying to let me.
Sorry.
Let me explain something. See, what we're saying is you have the physical, which we can see, made by a invisible force, which we call God. So it's hard to define who he is and what he is. I mean, you have different types of gods, and then that's where belief comes in, which God is the one true God. So what I'm saying with magnetism, I'm flipping the script. I'm saying, okay, we see, right, a magnet, but the magnet created the unseen, the invisible field, right? So what I'm saying is if you can define the simple fact of a magnetic field, right? If you can define what a field is, then you should be capable of defining what and who God is. Can you define a field?
I defined God as is the
I wasn't asking you.
Sorry.
I'm trying to because we're saying we see the physical world, but we believe it's created by this a certain force.
Yeah,
and we call that God.
I get that.
So we don't see the magnetic field, which is created by something we do see. So I'm saying, they don't believe in something they can't see, but yet they believe in something they can't see, which is a magnetic field. And I'm asking them, can they define? Can they define? They have faith in a field, right? Can you define what is the field which the magnet is interfering with? are creating.
That's a question for the Globers.
Yeah, well, I mean, do you believe that there is a magnetic field?
Me personally, you asking me or
no,
the Globers?
No. I'm asking the Globers. Do they believe that there is a field?
They're not answered, are they? Anyone want to answer that? Any Globers?
Yes.
Okay, what is the field?
It's a magnetic field of Earth.
What does it consist of? No, if you put a neodymium magnet within a vacuum chamber, what is the field surrounding the magnet within a vacuum chamber?
Look, I'm not real versed on this. I was just answering because no one else piped up.
Gotcha.
So if anyone else is better versed on magnets than I'm not good at magnets.
It's just a magnetic field. It's an intrinsic property of nature. I don't know what you're asking.
Yeah,
Thanks,
what is the field?
For the win.
If a field exists yet you can't see it, what is it?
Well, we can observe it with a magnet.
It's just an intrinsic property. It's just an intrinsic one of the intrinsic properties of nature. I don't understand
what is nature.
We can detect it, we can measure it, unlike God.
What the fuck does intrinsic mean? Sorry.
What are you measuring? What are you measuring?
You're measuring right.
Well,
you're measuring the things that field is interacting with, right?
Well,
whether it's creating a force or it's inducing a current flow.
You can measure the medium from which it's
there's nothing there. Space.
But what is the field?
No, you're not measuring them. If you hold one magnet, if you hold the opposite poles of a magnet, and you have them repel each other, and you measure the force of repulsion.
Well, you're measuring.
What do you mean you're measuring? What medium are you measuring? No, you're measuring the force of that field.
What's the field?
What is your point?
What is the field?
What is your point?
Oh no! Don't interrupt, Rocket. Let him lead.
What is?
Okay, what's a radio wave then?
Field? What's the field?
Are we playing things that we can't see but we can measure and detect? All right, what's a radio wave?
You believe it. See, believing in a God you can't see is faith, but you're believing in a field that you can't see.
Holy
or
fuck!
Define.
This is his point.
So, can you define what a field is? Where I can define what God is. God is creator, savior, right? He is the maker.
But you can't detect him or measure him. So you're basically going on blind faith versus something that we can detect or something that we can measure.
I can see him in nature and how he designed everything, and I can measure that.
That's not an objective thing.
Oh, where's my barf bag? Fuck is right.
Yeah, this is so stupid. I knew he was going there, which is why I said you can't measure. He's just going to go, well, you can't see that. You can't see God. So, yeah.
Well, define what a field is. Forget about God. Define what a field is.
I mean, I'll try to put my global hat on here. I'll try. A field is basically a pattern of waves radiating from a particular source. Is that any good? Hello?
Do y'all agree?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah, we hear you, bro.
Is there a scientific definition?
Yeah.
A true scientific definition of
if you look up the physics definition of a field, it probably says something about a physical quantity in space that's, represented by a number or a tensor or something. And it basically means that it's an area of space in which you can measure some value of something, right? Like some kind of a boundary area in which you can measure some value, and that value has a specific location.
There's a source of energy that has like a radiation that comes from it, and it's a sort of like a fucking force. Isn't it?
It has nothing to do with energy. Energy is a.
Well, I think you need energy to create fields. I don't think you can have a field without energy.
Energy is a very specific thing in physics. It's the ability to do work. It's the ability to take something and put it somewhere else.
All right. It's exactly. So how do you have a field without energy? How do you have
a field without energy?
Yeah. So you need energy. You can't have think about the sun. The energy it radiates off it. That's got energy in it. Without that energy of the sun, you would have no radiation from it. A magnetism. If you never had no energy going into the magnet, you'd have no field, electromagnetic field. You're not going to have any field without energy. So I think the source of whatever it's radiating from is how it's just radiation from energy. That's what I'd say a field is. That would be my definition. I'll go with that.
So are you saying this energy is causing some type of pressure surrounding it, which affects the environment around it, which we call the field? Like a football player is affecting the field it plays on, even though it's not the field. It's just applying pressure via cleats.
I know what you're saying. So as it runs,
So it seems as though this invisible realm within a vacuum, or in what they define as space, this field, right, has to consist of something if it's being created by a magnet or created by rockets, combustion, causing some type of electromagnetic explosion or waves, right? But what's waving? Is it the field?
It's the radiation, is it? It just it radiates from. It's like if you heat up a piece of wood, it'll go on fire, and then that heat would dissipate and radiate out. Or you heat up an iron bar, it won't go on fire, but it probably will if you get it too hot. It'll melt, wouldn't it? But let's say it radiates heat from that metal. That if you go within that radiation sort of zone, you'll be able to feel the heat from it. Radiation, isn't it? It's kind of a different effect. You've got different effects of radiation. Some of them propagate heat. Some of them propagate fucking waves of light. I don't know. I'm assuming now. I'm kind of jumping the gun here, but it's all radiation. Is kind of radiation. That's what the field is. A radiation.
Is anybody else sitting at their desk shaking their head right now?
I am. You explain to me then. You give me your definition.
I was rolling my eyes, Rocket.
Basically, rolling your eyes, and then shaking your head, hand in your head, going like this, going, "What the hell?"
Well, I have my 20%, so I can hear what he's saying.
No, bro, you're doing fantastic. I didn't really interrupt you. I'm just making an observation. So.
I want to hear you. I want to hear the actual. I want to hear the pedantic version.
Oh no! I want keep going because I want to get the maximum entertainment value.
Look at his consistent attitude, Brummy. He's Brummy. Rocket's implying you're crazy, but he's like, go on, right? But then when we make the serious points, he gonna interrupt and change the subject and all that shit. It's kind of interesting, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, he just wants to talk about values and mathematical equations.
Oh my god! Anything. You know what? You're right, Brian. I'm so fucking sorry for that. I'm so fucking sorry for wanting to use mathematics to represent and model reality. I'm so sorry for that.
Mathematics are abstract.
Well, it's abstract.
You can't wipe your ass without math, like literally.
You can't use toilet roll without maths.
You can't wipe your ass without Jeremy replacing the toilet paper.
Oh, that's true.
I bet he can write a mathematical equation.
The job stuff.
I bet he can write a mathematical equation.
Seriously, I'm not even fucking kidding.
I bet he can
write technically, Brummy, no, hang on. So technically, I could model it. I could model a robotic arm reaching out to get the toilet paper and then having to go through the dynamic motion of wiping my ass. So I can model it if I need to, but yeah.
Dynamic motion.
You're gonna need a formula, some math, some science for the ass wiping. I know, we know models, all kinds of shit.
Yeah. So what you'd actually do, you have a robotic arm, and you have to calculate the path splines of each of the joints so that you could have the desired motion. So yeah.
Could we just create AI for that? Wouldn't that be easier?
They are creating AI. It's gonna finish our fucking programming you lot. So that when you do have time to actually think about the world that you live in, that you won't start to question space. That's why they put it. Anyways, let's go back to it. No, you tell me what the magnetic field of the what's the magnetic field then? Is it radiation from energy?
It's not radiation. I know that. I have to look up the exact definition of it, but yeah.
Oh, so I'm kind of on the same right path though, right? So you just want to be
not radiation. I can definitely say that. Then?
Explain to me what it is. Come on. Let's hear rocket. Let
me tell you where I use it, and I don't care about the rest. Magnetic field in my industry is specifically using magnetic torque rods when you eject a satellite out and it's tumbling, and you activate those rods to make a counter torque so you can detumble the spacecraft. That's why I know magnetic field lines exist.
And that's it. You don't know what they are. We're not asking if they exist. We're asking you like what's your interpretation of magnetic fields? What they
there's a certain field. The magnetometers detect the field strength, and that's used in the control algorithm.
Yeah,
what
we know
are magnetic fields? You're a rocket scientist who can't answer a simple question.
Do you understand what he's saying?
Yeah, I don't know the answer to everything, so like it's not fair for you to say. I asked you this, you don't know the answer to that. Okay,
I agree. But the actual question is, what is a magnetic field? Not do magnetic fields exist?
I don't feel like looking it up right now, which is what I would do. Because the thing about knowledge is actually knowing where to go to find it. I don't feel like looking for it right now.
Go look it up. Jesus Christ.
I just use my common sense. My common sense tells me it's some sort of form of radiation from a particular source of energy.
I can tell you that your common sense fails you on a regular basis.
I can tell my common sense.
Because it's not. I am definite that it's not radiation.
Okay, somebody get the Google. Someone Google
something. It doesn't. So therefore, I would think that it's not radiation.
I'd like to take a moment to congratulate on Moya leaving the mute jail. He's not with us again.
Thank you. I second that.
Welcome, Moya.
Welcome back, Moyoc.
Thank you.
Welcome back to the land of the talking.
Lock him up. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, we need to play that spy game again. That shit was
a magnetic field is a vector field that describes magnetic influence on moving electrical charges, electric currents, and magnetized materials.
Excellent, Brahmi. Do me a favor. Scan that. Let me see if you see the word radiation anywhere on that page.
It says something to do with electric charges, and I don't know. It doesn't say anything to do with radiation at the moment.
Imagine that.
Well, I didn't say it was right. It said some form of radiation, didn't I?
Okay, fine. But do you see again? Do you see the word radiation on that page?
It's like it radiates from it. Yeah, like radiation. Like I said, the same.
No. Now you're making it up, Rami.
No. Like I said, the heat from a stick. If you put a stick on fire, the energy that goes into that to get the heat on, the heat would radiate off it. And that's like kind of the same thing as like a magnetic wave, magnetic field. Same as like a magnet. You put some energy into it, and then you'll have like some.
But no, that's not. That's not right, because if you have like a static magnetic field, it's not outputting any energy whatsoever.
Okay.
It's not the same as energy.
EMF, electromagnetic field, radiation symptoms. An EMF, you can get radiation symptoms of an EMF, which is an electromagnetic field. So why would you get radiation symptoms from that if it's nothing to do with radiation?
Hi.
Hello?
Oh, it is a...
Hello? After rocket scientist.
Oh, you still talking to me? Sorry, Brahmi. It's the middle of my workday, so I do go back and forth between that. So sorry, I wasn't paying attention at that moment.
It says an electromagnetic force. You can get radiation symptoms from it. So, would you like to talk about that?
Yeah, but that's not what the definition of a magnetic field is. You're talking about what the effects of it are.
Well, you can get radiation symptoms, and you said it was nothing to do with radiation, right?
Brahmi. The definition of a magnetic field will not have the word radiation contained within it. You are talking about what the effects of the magnetic field are, which can be related to that.
Oh! So we've got some sort of relationship with radiation within the...
Now, can you read that slowly again, Brahmi? Or link it?
I'm driving at the moment, but yeah, I can.
You're driving and reading on your phone. Yeah, please check yourself out.
My phone's at my. Jesus. Yeah, my phone is like on a stand. I don't have it in my hand.
Like that makes it so much better.
Yeah, it's the reading bit that we got the problem with.
How do you follow your?
This is some.
The sat nav. Don't you read your sat nav?
This is some Darwin Award shit right here.
So is it going to be our fault if you run into someone while you're reading that, Brahmi?
Yeah, it's going to be your fault.
Of course it is. Why am I not surprised?
Yeah,
you won't accept what I've said, and you won't do the Google research yourself and look for a relationship between electromagnetic fields and radiation. Instead, you just want to sit there and say it's not related, but it actually is. So concede and apologize.
So pathetic. You'll do anything to try to get a win.
Concede and apologize, bitch. first thing you went for.
Yeah.
Rummy, I would like to give an apology, yes, to every pedestrian that is crossing your path right now.
I'm on the motorway.
He finds that hilarious.
Yeah, it's funny. I'm risking people's lives.
Yeah, this guy is fucking unhinged.
Okay, so I don't want to say we. I don't want to talk about it. Me, Rummy, if you go wrap yourself around the pole, go for it, but don't take somebody down with you.
Ridiculous.
At least we're not driving and reading and tackling like a fucking unhinged lunatic.
He's driving and reading. Oh my god.
Here we go.
He's driving and reading.
Rummy, in all seriousness, Rummy, seriously, that's not safe, dude.
I'm briefly looked at my phone, man. Fucking hell.
Brummy was talking about EMF.
We've all been lied to, and Brummy's going for
you want to talk, but don't be reading shit off your phone while you're driving.
Yeah. I briefly read it, and I said I can't read it right now.
Yeah, it only takes a brief moment to go kill someone.
Listen, electromagnetic forces, right, have radiation. You can get radiation signal from it. So I'd like an apology.
No, that's different than magnetic field, you dumb fuck. It's electricity plus magnetic. EMFs caused by electromagnetic radiation, which is not the same as just static magnetic fields like you would get from a bar of iron or something.
Well, yeah, fine. I'll apologize. I apologize to everybody in the room for having subjected to Brummy's nonsensical statements today.
I don't accept your apology because I know you did it on purpose, Rocket.
Davros is off the leash.
Magnetic fields have radiation sickness, so it's cool.
Yeah, you have a sickness, Brummy.
Yeah, it's called pedantic brown nosing fucking job class.
It's called retardation from too many punches in the head.
Yeah, and a baseball bat.
I don't take punishment. I don't get hit.
That does explain a lot.
Don't take punishment.
I don't.
Hang on. So you've been in boxing, but you've never been punched in the head.
He's the only boxer ever never to be punched on the head.
I still
That's like saying you're a virgin prostitute.
That's like saying I'm a dry swimmer.
Exactly.
Well, you know what? So I'm still pretty, so I can't have been bashed that bad.
Well, that's debatable.
Repeated blows to the head doesn't explain a lot, though.
I really hope you are pretty. I swear to God, I really wish that for you. You don't have much in the brains area to offer. That's what I'm saying.
He says that as he flicks his ponytail back.
What a cunt. What a fucking cunt. That was a good one, Rocky. It's probably the best joke I've heard today.
I actually back to this debate about magnetic fields. I hate it when they say, "Oh, electromagnetism." You realise we separate the pair when we're talking about electricity and magnets, right?
Yeah. But I just want you guys to. It was a global question, and none of you fancy tackling it.
You know I couldn't because, I was busy having a shit.
Yeah. So you're not busy shitting no more. So please enlighten.
Well, no, I want to know is it electromagnetic force that pushes that poo out my ass?
Fucking hell.
Possibly. Probably contributes.
You can say fucking hell all you like about it, but this is as ridiculous as all their questions are.
He's got a point.
So what? Probably contributes to it, man. Contributes to the shit coming out your bum. Maybe we could write some fucking. I could write value.
Probably contributes to the shit coming out my bum.
I could write value for it.
So honestly, the shit coming out from his mouth, so that's about appropriate.
Do you want some maths to go with that? I know you guys like maths.
No, I don't want any mess to go with that. I hate taking drugs while shitting.
So what's your guys' understanding of this then?
Oh. Every time you talk, I get regular pains in my tummy.
For all that dick you've had in there?
No, it's because I'm laughing too hard.
Rummy, say it. Say specificity. Say it.
Specificity.
No, conceive.
Conceive, bitch.
Did you yell? Did you yell that out of where as you pumped the load into a Brummy?
Concede. Take my seed.
I like
Come on, Brummy. Have a go.
Come on, Brummy. Cinnamon aluminum, go.
I don't know what that is, mate.
It's
how many Americans are in the room? I want to say aluminium.